Hi guys, welcome to our J3 recap of Star Wars Celebration. I am going to host today. Sadly, Chris has to work right now. He may join in later, but as of right now, I have Matt Kearns and Evan DeGraff actually live at Celebration with me today. We're going to talk about everything that happened yesterday. We wanted to do that yesterday in the evening, but I was way too tired. Everyone was just way too tired, so we had to sleep. So we're doing it now, early in the morning before everything starts on Sunday. So Matt, what did you think about yesterday?
I really liked day three. I think Rebels was awesome, and then we're gonna get into that. I
Hmm.
liked the Battlefront panel, and from what I saw of Smuggler's Revenge, I saw Smuggler's Revenge. I meant of the Billy D panel. It was a good day. It was
Right.
a good day.
All right, Evan, you were actually there yesterday. I wonder how was it for you?
Wow, it's definitely one of those once in a lifetime kind of things because you see Freddie Prince Jr. on stage, you see Vanessa Marshall on stage, you
Who?
see Dave Filoni, you see all of the rebels
Wait, hold on. Who did
on
you see there?
stage.
The first person?
Freddie Prince Jr.
That's not his
Not
name,
it.
dude. It's Frank
No,
Prince
no, it's
Geller.
Freddie Prince
Why are you
Geller.
saying it wrong?
uh, right.
Sadly, Hot Callus wasn't there. Um,
Yeah,
Hot
that was one
cows.
of the funniest parts of that entire panel.
Oh my
Hot
god,
cows.
yes.
but panel wise, from what I saw, that was definitely the best spoken panel for sure. Like the interactions between the actors and Filoni and the host as well was fun.
Yeah.
Out of this world Battlefront, the stuff that they dropped just blew my mind. The pictures that were putting up, oh man, it was insane. Yeah, definitely yesterday was a great day to analyze.
Yeah, it was a great day, and of course, yesterday started off with probably the biggest panel of the day, Rebels, and Chris and I already talked about that. But I wonder, Matt, what did you think about the Rebels panel and the trailer, of course?
I really enjoyed the Rebels panel. I thought you got, I mean, 4 seasons of a show. That's like a couple of years that this cast has been together. You feel this sort of familial thing between them. It was the same thing that when the Clone Wars cast would do this kind of stuff. Dave Filoni has a good job of casting people who work well together in the booths and outside. So that was really fun to see them all joking around and talking about the trailer. I mean, it was great. I think the choice of having it be this whole narration by Hera and everything, I think that was a good choice. When you hear that season 4 is going to be the last season, the trailer felt very recapping of the past 3 seasons, with also the drops of
Yeah.
there's something's going to go down this season, which I really enjoy because I'm looking forward to. There's probably something that's going to break my heart come the end of this season, but
Yeah.
it will at least be awesome. I know that. If you watched our
Yeah.
live stream yesterday, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Probably Kanan is going to be very much dead by the
Why
end
the
of the
hell do you
season.
have to say it? Why do
I'm
you have to say
sorry.
it?
I'm a dick. Also, it's been confirmed that this season will see Hera rise to the rank of general, which I, of course, can't wait for. Lot of exciting stuff. But the thing is, they actually showed the first episode of season 4 at Celebration called, I believe, Heroes of Mandalore. And Evan actually got to see that. So I wonder, Evan, without any spoilers, just say what it was about, say
And
how it was.
It's on Mandalore. Things there, and they're doing something to something. I'm gonna say that the anymore I say is very spoilery territory. So I'm gonna keep it at that. But
okay,
what I can say is Katie Sackhoff came back to reprise her role, which
Yeah.
was
yeah,
freaking
that's awesome.
awesome. Honestly, this episode was a great way to start off the season. When I sat in and I was watching the episode, my eyes couldn't lay off the screen. Chopper was used perfect in the episode. Ezra was used perfectly in that episode. Kanan and Hera were used perfectly in this episode. everything just all kind of wrapped up together. You see the Empire and how the Mandalore, work together, and it's just really good and really well told.
Nice.
Okay.
Right, that's good to hear. Also, it has been rumored that this season is not going to be 20 like the last two, but it's going to have 15 like the first season, which we already talked about. That is probably a good decision because that means we are not going to get as much filler as the last two seasons, and it's going to be more streamlined. I can't wait for that. But yeah, I think.
Hey, Case.
All right. Before we move on, any last thoughts, Evan?
Yeah. Filoni dropped a really big hint of news.
Oh yes, of course.
This was streamed. I want to cover this because I was in the audience when this was revealed. It was crazy. Shirt that said "Ahsoka lives?" ? They showed the trailer the first time. Piece of tape covered it. It said "Ahsoka lives" with an exclamation mark, meaning Ahsoka is alive. Ahsoka Tano is alive.
Of course she
which
is.
is
Do you think Dave
mind-blowing.
Filoni would kill her off?
The way how Filoni did that though, and during the panel and whatnot, awesome. And then I was in the press conference. Christian Harloff was the first one to ask, "Hey, so Ahsoka is alive, right?" It was just crazy.
That's good. Yeah, Ahsoka definitely is alive, which we kind of knew, but it's nice to have the confirmation. So that's great. Matt, do you have any closing thoughts before we move on to the next thing?
No, I mean, Rebels fan was great. I'm glad to hear that the first episode is a good way to start off, and also hearing that it's going to be 15 like the first season, because I think now they're going to go back. And something I love about the first season is it's so episodic, and you can't take any episode out, whereas in season 2 and 3, there are a couple episodes that you take out, the season still works, whereas like season 1, you need every episode for the story to work. So I'm looking forward to that.
Exactly, and I'm also very much looking forward to that. Now, the next panel that was streamed and that I actually managed to watch this morning to just catch up with most of it was the Smooth Talking with Billy D. Williams panel. I thought a very fun panel. Nice to hear Billy D. Williams talk a little bit about how he started in Star Wars, how he's still going, because he actually came back in season 1 of Rebels to voice Lando for an episode, for more than one episode. He was also on Season of Thought, so that was really cool. And what was interesting about this was that when I was rewatching it, I don't know if it was live as well, but when I was rewatching it on the when it was just uploaded, I could hear people talk over the panel who were backstage, and you could hear things like, "Okay, 2 more questions," and then Warwick is like, "Okay, we're gonna have 2 more questions now." So it was very weird to hear. I know Matt didn't see it. I wonder, Evan, did you see this panel?
No, I couldn't get the time to. I was super busy yesterday with a bunch of stuff I was doing.
I was busy watching the Felicity Jones interview on a loop, so.
All right, let's move on to the next big panel, of course, which is Battlefront 2. Actually, quite a lot of news came out of the Battlefront 2 panel, but I know Evan is very excited for this one. Evan, what do you think of this panel?
Wow, okay, so panel-wise discussion, it was but the stuff that they were showing us in the crowd, the pictures, the trailers, and stuff like that was on another level. Battlefront 2 hype for me was about here, because Battlefront 1 was okay.
Yeah.
This is now here. It's there. The stuff that they showed us was mind-blowing. We have a campaign that is canon and that is actually looking like it's going to be really cool. Yeah. We're going to see Luke Skywalker and Rey be in the same campaign. No, Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren be in the same campaign while fight. Oh, it's just crazy. This Battlefront panel was awesome.
Indeed, it was. And Matt, what did you think of the panel, or did you not see it?
No, I from what I was able to see, again, discussion is fine, but I did, however, catch up on the news that was dropped, and of course the trailer, which was awesome. That story, I actually like the first Battlefront game, especially with the season pass now with like Scarif and the Death Star attack, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I can play as Jyn Erso and Nordson Krennic a little bit. But I did hate the fact of, like, one of my favorite Star Wars games is the original Battlefront 2. And one of the great things about that is the story mode Rise of the Empire. So it sucked that there was no single-player story mode. Now we're going to get it in the trailer. It looks awesome. We're getting sort of the post-Return of the Jedi story we want, except from the point of view of the villains, not the heroes, which is what we want. We want the point of view of the heroes. Now we're getting like, oh yeah, because there were villains who survived that. What did they do? Also, it's great to hear Sam Witwer voicing the Emperor in that.
Of course, Sam Witwer is a great talent, great voice actor, and he voices a lot of Star Wars characters. Makes me also wonder if they may bring back a certain fan favorite that he also voiced in another Star Wars game.
I'm sorry. I'm saying it again. Sam Witwer for Kyle Katarn. I'm just saying it.
I was actually thinking about
No,
Starkiller.
I know you were saying Maul, but
Starkiller.
Oh, Starkiller.
From
See,
The Force Unleashed.
What that is, I would love that. Galen Merrick. He's like one of my favorite Star Wars characters, but the problem with that is that if you bring him back, it presents a lot of problems.
Well, look,
universe-wise.
it's the same thing as what we had with Grand Admiral Thrawn. Like, you can bring him back, but bring him back in a different time period. So if you would bring him back in a different time period and then introduce him, I think that
if you
could
introduce him in the post-Jedi era, that could work.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. I would really like that, actually.
Exactly. Now, also, what was revealed is that because a few weeks ago, I'm not really sure, we got the news that there was going to be a new canonized novel called Inferno Squad that would take place directly after Rogue One and would follow a squad of stormtroopers that would deal with the aftermath of Rogue One. However, now it has been revealed that Inferno Squad actually is a squadron of stormtroopers that you can play with in Battlefront 2. It's actually a prequel to Battlefront 2 because the storyline of Battlefront 2 is canon, and the book is going to prequel that. That makes me 10 times more hyped for that book, because initially, when it was announced, I was like, oh, that's cool, but I don't... the book is written by Christy Golden, who wrote Dark Disciple, which one of my favorite Star Wars books, so I was like, I don't know. However, I do think there is a lot of potential for this book, and if she can improve a little bit on her writing style for this book, then I really want to read that. I wonder, you guys have any thoughts on that, or other thoughts on the Battlefront 2 panel? Matt?
That's cool. It's probably a book I won't read, but, you know... I will definitely play the single-player campaign when it comes out, and then who knows? Maybe I'll like it, and I'll want to read the backstory.
Indeed. Evan?
What you guys don't know, but what you're now going to know, is I got some special footage from Battlefront. It was flipping cool. You heard the Emperor's voice, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Let's just say we learn how that happens. There's
it's
a bunch
very
of cool behind
simple.
the scenes stuff.
I open my mouth and words come out. That
More
is
interesting
how
than
you
that.
hear my voice.
It's more interesting than that. But we just got a bunch of cool little tidbits, and the more that this panel kept going, especially after that, footage that we saw, it just kept getting better and better and better and better. It was just a fantastic panel from the top, and with that tidbit at the end for just the fans, you could really, the environment that was around everybody, they felt really good about what was going on. And that was exciting.
All right. Well, another panel that Matt already talked about earlier was the Smuggler's Revenge panel. I haven't seen it. I wonder, Matt, what was in that panel? Give your thoughts about it.
So anyone who has been following this since Celebration 6, you'll know that Kyle Newman, the director of the Star Wars sort of fan film type thing, Fanboys, he does this sort of podcasted type movie about Han Solo. The first one was Smuggler's Gambit. And this was, I believe, I'm not sure if they did one at Europe, so I think this is a sequel. And basically, it's just a side story from the films with Han Solo. But the people that get to do the voices is awesome. They had Catherine Tabor, who is Padme Amidala in the Clone Wars. She plays Princess Leia. Sam Witwer plays the bad guy of it, who's this sort of wannabe bounty hunter that Han screwed over. What's his Tom Kenny, who no, Tom Kane, not Tom Kenny. Tom Kane, who plays Yoda. He did C-3PO's voice. And
Nice.
I forget what the guy's name is who plays Han Solo, but he does a really good Harrison Ford impression. And it's awesome. It's really fun. I watched it last night, and, you know, it's the type of thing that if you close your eyes and you just sort of listen, you can sort of imagine what's happening. They have sound effects for like R2-D2 and Chewbacca and blasters and everything. So it'd be something really cool if someone was really good with like stop motion animation to like take a bunch of action figures and then put the audio track of this over, you know?
Yeah.
I would do it, but I suck at stop motion. But it's fun. No Luke, though. He gets mentioned, but there's no Luke. I was hoping Matt Lantern would come out and play Luke like he did Smuggler's Gambit, because that was awesome.
Yeah. Would
But
be
Sam
awesome.
Witwer was hilarious in it. The lines he had and the way he delivered them, he was hilarious.
Yeah. All right. So that is about all the panels I know about. I wonder, Evan, are there any other things that you want to say about day 3 of Celebration before we wrap this one up?
So I got into the press conference for the Rebels thing yesterday.
Right.
And I'm just gonna quickly cover it because we're gonna post it on the channel soon, as it is. But I just want to say those are some of the like greatest, most genuine people I've seen in front of a crowd of press too, not just fans. It was press, so you know, more pressure, more stuff like that. The press is going to grill you, and they're so genuine. Dave Filoni is hilarious, and it was just a really good time being in there and shooting that. So watch out for that, you guys. It was a really good time recording that.
All right, nice. Well, I think that concludes this day 3 wrap up. We actually did that pretty fast. I wasn't really expecting it to go by that fast.
Yeah. Too bad Chris isn't here, or else we could do the top 5 Star Wars games.
Yeah, that is something that I wanted to do. I think
we can do it.
Like we can still do that later today, perhaps. Because Chris is going to come home later today, and after that we'll cover the closing ceremony panel, recap day 4, and we'll just talk a little bit about games, perhaps comics and novels as well. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. Great having you on. I wonder, where can the kids find you, Evan, online?
Find me on Twitter at EDGRAFF11 and follow me, guys. And then also be expecting a Battlefront review and a Rebels review and that press conference to come out. Thank you guys so much.
Indeed. And Matt, where can people find you online?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Kearns_Matthew, and right here on the Take 3 channel every other Saturday hosting the Movie Fandom Show.
Indeed, and you can find me at Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter, the Dutch Movie Guy on YouTube. I have trailer reactions for the Last Jedi trailer and the Rebels trailer. If you haven't seen that, check it out because it's great. And I'm not sure yet if we do Between the Zones this week, but we'll definitely be back next week with Between the Zones, which is our new show that we do every week. This was our recap of day 3 of Celebration, and we'll see you next time. Take care.